said, I've been bitten by the bug, unfortunately, and I just can't escape it.
Hello, welcome back to the vlog. We are at 86 Fest today.
Surprisingly, there's lots of Toyota AE86s here.
He is right, There are plenty around today. This is only the pit lane, but there are more on the far side, there's more on the top paddock.
Lane everywhere. We're literally infested with 86s.
But don't say
86 Fest.
Don't say it. Was that a pun?
It turned into one. So pretty much, lots of noise. So 86 Fest is a day in Ireland where all 86s come to this one day. And fun fact, obviously with it being COVID restrictions and stuff like that, there's only legally, I think it's 70-ish cars that are here. But in the past, I think 2 years ago, the last time that it was able to be run fully was the biggest 86 day that's ever been in the world. That beats Japan, America, anywhere like that.
Really?
So in a country as small as Ireland, we actually had the biggest 86 day. Some of our vlogs are a bit waffly and stuff like that. We're going to hit this with a bit of structure. Me and Blaine don't particularly get Toyota AE86s. So we're going to figure out today by asking people, and by the end of the day hopefully try and get more of an understanding to why there's such a cult behind them. We're borderline in the same generation.
Yeah, you're 30 now, Josh.
Yeah, I'm 30. I'm bordering out of Blaine's generation. It came in just towards the end of the 86, so technically we don't necessarily have as much of the natural heritage. Would you say natural heritage?
Natural.
Is that a thing?
The
historical romance.
That's a nice way of putting it, yes. Yes, we are kind of 86 noobs. We shouldn't use that word, but we kind of are. So we have to find out why people love them so much.
Come on, enough waffle. Let's go find some cars.
Let's go find some cars. So this is Mr. Paddy Maher's car.
We're trying to figure out today because obviously there's a big following for 86s. So why?
I don't know, it was just the rallying back in the day. I think there was swing arms in them since I was 18. I just wanted one, and when I was 18 I bought one. I've had one ever since.
Yeah.
38 now, so 20 years with them.
So you went and wore the old school, new school a few weekends
2
ago.
weeks ago, yeah. So.
And then he's out there in this car on track drifting the whole circuit.
Yeah.
Which seems bonkers to say this is a plus 30 grand car.
Yeah.
And irreplaceable.
Smiles, mates.
This is one of our typical Jap 86s that we would see around here.
The true no fun with the pop-up headlights, kind of more Japanese spec, works wheels,
slammed,
white over black. I prefer that. I appreciate the Japanese styling more than say the UK styling. Which I'm not sure if that's a bold statement in itself. I don't think so.
And here is like a typical UK spec.
So the difference here, obviously, the front end.
Big spotlights are a giveaway straight away.
The big spotlights, yeah.
The rallying background.
Yeah, it's got mud guards here, and I believe it's a Janspeed exhaust. I think that's the one with the super light wheels.
These could be Jap lights, and these could be UK lights.
Well, they're different lights anyways.
We're not good at this.
Just so you know, this is a very difficult culture that you need to study for many years. This is harder than your GCSE English.
Which you probably failed, did you?
Twice, but I passed my third time.
Third time lucky. Look at this. That is out there.
There's a lot more of a story than I can justify on this car.
Do you know
with
what?
my knowledge.
I think we know someone who actually does know the story behind this car.
We don't want to waste it with us
Making a mess of
wrong.
it. Yeah. So let's go find a special someone.
Special someone.
Special
Jesus
someone.
Christ, that sounds like a romantic lover.
Alright guys, I want to take a quick break from this episode to talk about one of our partners, Tough Tile. Now you guys will know from our garage, we've got it laid down on our floor for over a year, holds up amazing, makes the place look amazing. A lot of people paint their floors in their garages, but they get grubby and they get tire marks. These do not, they hold it pretty good. As you guys can see here, they have a huge range of colors. Everything from greens, blues, yellows, whites. So make sure you check out www.toughtile.com for their full range. It's pretty reasonably priced and it makes your garage or your shed or anywhere look amazing.
So we need to be given a bit of a tour around this absolute beauty, and yeah, as you probably can tell, me and Josh have absolutely no idea the story about this car. So we have enlisted the help of Mr. Neil Sheehan, and he's going to give us a bit of a backstory of this car and tell us what makes it so special. Hello, Mr. Neil.
Hey, what's the crack, lads? How are you?
So, what is so magical and special about this car?
Yeah, so this is Toyota AE86s D1 car from like 2000. Had it for a few years, and he got the nickname Crash King because he used to drift it, and every time he went out drifting, the whole body kit would come off the car. Like, he never actually really done well in D1. Sorry, Yusuf, if you ever see this, you probably won't know what I'm talking about. But it was the spectacle of back in the day, because in the millennium it was all about being flashy and having a really stylish car. And BN had just brought out this kit, and it's just total nonsense. Like, look at the size of it. So his car was always really low, and every time he was drifting, there's like a clip at Bihaku, everything just explodes off the car.
This has kind of set the trend for the BN style kit.
Yeah, like, well, this kind of style, like, he was one of the first cars to have the super flash style in D1. Dennis Healy used to compete with it in Pro Drift, and he ended up, it became the Hunky Dory's green car, I think. I could be wrong. And it actually crashed. Was it here? Crashed into the barrier, or was it Watergrass Hill? I'm actually drawing a blank or whatever. But the car was rode off and all the parts were reshelled into another shell, which became the purple Hunky Dory's drift car.
The car that with this livery on, it's like half the car. Is that right?
Is it green?
It's green.
Yeah, but that's this car. So any of the green, this is the green bright car.
We'll put that picture in to show how ridiculous that actually is.
Yeah, it didn't last long, and all the shit was taken out of it, and bits of it got scattered all around Carlow, of all places.
Yeah, we've heard actually that the interior from this is now in
it's
the
in my
black
mate
one over
Jerry's
there.
black car, yeah. He managed to get the interior.
When I tried buying it back
Yeah,
up.
but Jerry's probably going to be buried with the interior. So. But the bonnet was on Alan Sinnett's drift car for Pro Drift for years. And what else?
So essentially this car was like broken down,
Yeah.
and then it's all kind of built back together with bits of the original car.
Somehow, yeah, all the parts still kind of existed. Like, it still has the original, these are the original door blades off it. And this kit was actually the original kit that the car came in on. It was moulded off of that kit, so it's kind of like the closest you're going to get to it.
Is that his D1 license?
Yeah,
there
he
as
actually
well?
gave his D1 license over, he sent it over to him.
That
He
is
couldn't
really
believe
cool.
that, like, the car came back from the dead. Because as you can imagine all the memories he had with this car back in like 2001 or 2, and then he obviously maybe like falls out of love with it, he sells it, and because we just rob everything out of Japan, it ends up on the other side of the world before social media. Then, you know, it gets wrecked over here because no one really cared or knew about the heritage or the history.
And he probably didn't realise how
He
big
didn't
it was
know,
going
yeah.
to be.
And he probably didn't know that the car ended up over here, or that there would be a resurgence in the interest of millennium culture and style, 15 years later. So suddenly he's famous again, everyone is resharing all his old footage. He gets an interest in his old he goes digging to try to find out the history of it, finds out that it went to Ireland and it was killed, and that's it. And then out of nowhere then, my mate Dan, who sold me the 86, sends me pictures of this in a bush. I send him to Paddy, and then Paddy goes, I'm going to have to buy that now. And then he sent me a picture 2 days later of it on a teleporter, and he's like, I'm going to bring that thing back from the dead. So
He must
So
have.
just to get that straight, so that was pulled out of a ditch
Yeah.
in the picture that was half the car.
yeah, what he did was he took the roof off it and he took all the cuts he needed off of the original shell because it was beyond savable, and he got another shell. So it's a reshell, like it's a rebirth
So
of
he
the
kind
car,
of
like
put all those bits onto
so the
there.
roof and like weld pieces that were chopped out have been like fitted onto it. So it's as much as he could do. So it's got the heart and soul of the original car.
What we're finding
The pieces.
bonkers about, or like the 86 culture
Yeah.
and everything like that, is, and you're one for that as well.
Yeah.
What you do to bring a shell back,
Yeah, it's
back to
bananas,
life. Like any other car, if it was a BMW or something like that,
Yeah.
it'd just be crushed. Whereas 86s, people never want to say no with
Yeah,
them,
it's
even if
nuts.
it's holes and
It's
rusted.
some sort of sadomasochistic, I don't know how you say that, but it's some sort of torturous relationship. It's like a toxic girlfriend for all the world, like, you know what I mean? You shouldn't do it, but you just keep coming back to him. And I grew up around him, and all my friends have told me how miserable they are over the years. But for some reason, if you get bitten by it, you're just screwed,
And
man.
speaking
is
of
it?
yours, how's yours getting
Oh
along then?
God, I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
Can I just say, didn't we hear a story of, didn't this get built up in 6 months?
Yeah, and I've been
What's
building
yours?
mine for 4 years.
Have you got a deadline then?
Yeah, I want to have it finished by the end of the year, but I'll have to hide it
you
for
say
about
that
6
last year?
months. Yeah, but COVID happened, and like I guess like Barry that does all the metal work, like he was afraid to drive down because he likes the devil's lettuce, and you know, like people were just like, yeah, we weren't really at the shed. Like the whole COVID thing kind of messed everything up. So
This time next year, you'll be sitting here with your own.
I,
Then.
I brought it to it in 2017 when it was terrible, and we done some donuts here. It was really funny, and I thought it'd be done like the next year because I was turning 30, and I was like, oh, I'll have it done for my 30th birthday. And now I'm 33 years of age, and it still doesn't have paint on it.
I
Like,
still find it bonkers that since you bought it,
yeah.
the price of them has just gone ridiculous.
Probably had something to do with it, but I really hope I didn't.
Yeah.
So just like burning the candle, you know, it's like I shot myself in the foot there. Some cars are probably not as rusty, but they all have secrets.
So I mean, all we're hearing is like it's bad point. They're all rotten.
But
they're all
somehow
terrible.
in the middle of it, there's supposed to be some joy where you're like, I love these things. I don't know, man. Like I saw them when I was a kid, and it was the coolest cars I'd ever seen in my whole life. And then that was it. I can't get away from it. I thought like I could just suppress the feelings, but whatever. Just unfortunately, the 86 bit me from a young age, and now I'm stuck with it forever. The reason why everyone is into them is because they're really, really reliable, and they have that bad boy image of being that hooliganism car that everybody saw when they were younger at a car event or somewhere, and they're like, oh, I want that, and that's why everyone here likes 86s. And I guess a bit of rallying, but it's mostly the hooliganism that followed rallying. It's not the rallying that got people into them, it's the cars that came to the rally to mess about. So
Right, so what we've learned now is that if you watched rallying when you were younger and you saw these first when you were rallying, you like the UK spec, and if you're just into general hooliganism,
yeah, that was kind of the car.
you like the Jap
It's moved
ones.
on to IS200s and stuff now, but it was the 86. I don't know, it's weird. It's a mad subculture inside a subculture thing that only exists in Ireland.
And the two sides don't get on well.
Yeah, they kind of don't. They're like separate things. Like the lads into the UK stuff literally don't really care about the Jap stuff. It's literally just a big line in the middle, and it's mad. It's a strange thing, but it's interesting. It's fascinating. I love showing people in other countries the little bubbles inside the 86 world, where they're just like, look at this, and then like look at the UK spec. There's 3 UK specs there. Like it's mad. It's very interesting.
I will say it's very interesting
Yeah.
to see, like, these are all the same cars.
Yeah.
But there's so many little bits.
Yeah. I'm
sure you say on every one that's the limited edition.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
black edition. That's the UK. That's the Jab. And there's so many little bits where if you're really into it, like yourself, then you notice all these.
Yeah, even though like indicators and stuff, like so the Jap ones then don't have the indicators on the wings, but the UK spec ones do. And then the UK specs got different colours that were only available in like the European market that the Japanese ones didn't. And then they made late spec and early spec, and then they made Truno and 11, and then they made late spec and early spec Truno and 11, and then they made like 2-door and 3-door. So you have a hatchback, and as people call them, booters in Ireland for some reason because they have a boot. It's like it just came in and they
Makes
went,
sense.
that's got a boot, booter, and then that's it. People in Ireland call them booters, which is
I
bizarre.
don't know
and-
as booters anywhere else, because I know them as booters.
yeah, they're actually a coupe, but in the UK they branded the 3-door hatchback as the GT coupe, so Irish people call the 3-door hatchback the coupe, even though it's not a coupe, it's a hatchback. So it's mad, it's a real, and you kind of need to know all this, and then even though you know it, it doesn't matter, because this is technically a coupe, but in Ireland we call them booters, and everywhere else in the world then they'll call them, I guess they call them coupes, or a notchback, I think in America. I probably got that wrong, but
Well, don't worry, we've got quite a lot wrong here.
It's
so-
fascinating. It's just a fascinating culture, and like I've never found the end of it because I've seen every aspect of it, and it's just I don't know. Like I said, I've been bitten by the bug, unfortunately, and I just can't escape it. Look at all this kind of cool stuff that can come back from the dead because of the things we're interested in, and all the people that came together to give him parts for this. It's a pretty cool community, like, do you know what I mean? You don't really see it in other things. Other things can be quite cliquey, and I like that for the most part. Japanese car culture is pretty cool, like, and people I know anyway definitely help each other out, like, and this was a huge communal effort. All his friends that got together to help him build it and gave him the parts, and you know, everyone came out of the woodwork to give a hand on the car. Like, that's amazing. You know what I mean?
Everybody, it's not just him that wants to see it done, like.
Exactly, like, and I don't know, yeah, just this car was a communal effort amongst friends, and look at the end result. And then a guy on the other side of the world who used to own it is like blown away that his car came back from the dead.
That's bonkers for him not knowing that and think the car's just gone, and then for someone to put that original car into another car and build it back up as that is just
absolutely just unbelievable.
ridiculous.
And people just like, wow, like only in Ireland, because it is like we do have a very strong love for all the stuff that came here, you know, and left an impact on us, as you can see. And like, I'm ruined, you know what I mean? The stuff just completely destroyed me. I'd love to not be into cars and just skateboard or just do something else, you know, but like this stuff, I cannot get away from it, and it's great to know that other people are in the same boat as me.
Yeah.
Sure, like, you know what I mean? It does. It's like, hey, we're all in this together, guys, you know?
Look at this thing.
I would say it's Jack spec.
And I don't know, Josh, I think it's UK spec.
See, look at that. See the orange lights there.
No grill.
That was a big debate with me and Dave. I don't like the no grill. Dave does like the no grill.
The car is actually black and all the red is vinyl,
Okay.
but like just SR20.
Wow. Okay.
Oh wow, this is
You've gone in here. That's the tidiest kind of interior. They've taken the interior out. It's got all the bare metal and no door cards or anything, but it actually looks tidy.
Like it's actually a road car as well. I drive this on the road, like.
Really? Yeah. Completely skipped over saying it was an SR20. So it's actually got a bit of power then.
Yeah, like that's it. It's a standard just twin cam back axle, but it's like S13 red tops SR with a standard gearbox in it. But it's well able to move, like it's like fourth gear around here, like, and
I'm not surprised.
yeah, it is quick, like.
So Neil did tell us about the Black Limited, and here is one of those famous Black Limiteds.
So it has the black metallic paint, it has the limited sticker, which kind of looks like it's the original sticker even.
Probably is.
I'm not sure if it's it looks like the paint's very good condition.
But this is one of those illustrious special ones, and it's
think
there's a reason why it's on the trailer or on the flatbed, because it's minded like a baby.
I reckon they're just going home, so they put it on the flatbed.
That's what I mean, like, yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, you mean it's not driving home?
Yeah, your man brought it on the flatbed, and he's.
But you can see, it has the fancy, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, I describe it. It has the fanciest steering wheel, it has kind of custom trimmed gear knobs.
And that's the end of that.
Probably some other stuff, I don't know, something along the way.
feel more enlightened?
I feel more knowledgeable.
I think we can pretty much still class ourselves as completely clueless.
Oh, we're definitely still clueless. Don't get us wrong. Like we're not saying that we are Corolla geniuses, but I would say we're not as much idiots as we were before.
We're not as big idiots
I'll
as
say
we were
from the
before.
academic level, I say we're, I don't know, D plus.
We don't use pluses and minuses here.
Really? Is that just an English thing? UK spec.
Josh is UK spec.
I'm not sure about you,
It's an
but
imposter. That's not an 86.
I'm not sure how he snuck in there. Rounding this off here. So, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the Jap spec or the UK spec? Or do you go controversial with a bit of both? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, watch. What's the other things?
Like, comment, subscribe,
Like,
watch.
what? Yeah, watch them.
Watch the video.
Watch the video. You're already watching if you've got to this part. Thank you for watching. I could bid you good day and good night.
Very polite.